Hey Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central, bringing you a Metalborg Dimension Police deck profile. So our main boss of the deck is going to be Metalborg Sinbuster. His non-legion effect is when he attacks and the power is greater than 20,000, then he gets the ability, if his attack hits, then you draw a card. And then his legion effect is when you attack and your Vanguard is over 3,000 power, then your opponent can't guard with grade 1 or greater, so no perfect guards, only grade 0s. So the other grade 3 we're running is Original Saber 0, and he gets plus 2,000 when he's boosted by a Dimension Police unit, and he's also one of the break rides for Dimension Police, meaning when you're at Limit Break 4 and you ride over him, you're going to give your Vanguard plus 10,000, and your opponent, you can minus your opponent Vanguard 5,000. So combined with Sinbuster, that's going to make them use up pretty much their whole hand because they have to guard with grade 0s, and they're going to be at probably 6,000, and the plus 10k while you're in Legion boosts you up to 30,000 without a boost. Alright, going into the grade 2s, we're running 4 of Sinbuster's mate, Metalborg Urbuster. Urbuster's effect is when your Vanguard legions, and then you can choose one of your Vanguard and give it the effect when its attack hits, you're going to retire one of your opponent's units, and you can give it plus 4,000, so it lets you hit the number requirements on Sinbuster a lot easier, as well as being able to take out your opponent's rear guards when you hit. Next is 4 Metalborg Wrestle Blizzard. His effect is when you call him, you can counterblast 1 and choose up to 2 of your Vanguards, so both of them if you're in Legion, and give them both plus 3,000, which means you're giving your Vanguard as total plus 6,000. So all about stacking the power on your Vanguard so they can't guard you. And lastly, we run 3 12k attackers for Metalborgs, and it's good just for the early pressure. You know, being able to attack unboosted is great. Next, grade 1s. 4 perfect guards, Diamond Ace, pretty much a staple in any deck. Next is the 10k Legion booster for Dimension Police. And he's super important because if you have him behind a Legion Sinbuster, you're always going to be attacking for 30,000, which is going to get both of his effects off every single turn, which is just going to put a pain in your opponent because then they can never use their perfect guards. And if you hit, then you're going to get to draw that free card every single time. So next is Metalborg X-Blaze. He's the 10k attacker for Metalborgs, and he's gonna let you put on some early pressure to your opponent so that they have less to guard in their hand when you do a Breakride or just for Sinbuster by itself. And then we have 4 Metalborg Mist Ghost. His effect is when you call him to rearguard, counterblast 1, and you're gonna give up to 2 of your Vanguards plus 4,000. So again, if you're in Legion, that puts you up to plus 8,000 power. So you're gonna attack for 28,000 unboosted, which makes it super easy to again hit that 30,000 requirement that Sinbuster wants from you. And then lastly, we have 1 Metalborg Deathblade. So his effect is when you call him to rearguard, you can Soul Blast 1 and choose one of your other units and give it plus 5,000. So you can use him with one of your 12k attackers or something to make a 16 attacker unboosted, or like a 21,000 line, or you can use it to power up your Vanguard even more and help you set up your drop zone for Legion a little bit. So lastly, going into the triggers, 4 heal, 8 crit, and then 4 stand. And the reason we run the stand trigger is because it has an active ability. If you have it on your Vanguard and you put it into Soul, you can give your Vanguard plus 3,000. Sorry, up to two of your Vanguards plus 3,000. So again, if you're in Legion, that's going to be plus 6,000. It's all about stacking the power on your Vanguard and making those huge unguardable attacks. And finally, for the starter, we're going to play Warrior of Destiny Die. And he's the grade 3 searcher. So counterblast 1, move him to Soul, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and get a grade 3. Put it into your hand. And the reason we're using him is because then, if you're feeling safe, you can go ahead and try to search for Original Saber 0 and set up that really hard to guard Breakride turn, or just get some extra attackers via 11Ks.